give me what I want and I'll go away. Actually, that's not true, because what I want is for you to keep watching, which means I won't be going anywhere. Whatever, here are 19 reasons to read and watch Storm of the Century. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, at Dave Musson on Instagram, and this is the place where I'm taking you through the works of Stephen King and giving you 19 reasons to try every single thing he's done. If that sounds like something you'd like more of, click around my channel, explore the other videos, and maybe hit subscribe as well so you don't miss anything in the future. So last time I hinted that this video would be us going through The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, but since then I realised I got my dates slightly in a muddle, so we're actually looking at Storm of the Century this time around, which is a mini-series that King wrote for American TV that played across 3 nights in February of 1999, and as you can see was also turned into a book. So let's not waste any more time. Here are 19 reasons to both read this thing and watch it, and all of the spoilery reasons are clustered towards the end, so if you need to drop out before then, you can do. Wrap up warm, we're going in. So this project was a first for King. A story specifically written for TV screens. Not a movie screenplay, not a novel that then got adapted, but something King actually ended up calling a novel for TV. It's really well done and holds up amazingly well all these years later. As I mentioned, it was also published as a book. The screenplay was turned into a book with some pictures and some other stuff in there. And crazily, the book was published 2 weeks before the TV show ran. So I'm almost certain that plenty of King fans out there would have basically spoiled it for themselves. That seems like a wild decision, right? So King writes an intro into the novel version of the screenplay, and as with most King intros, it's great, really worth reading. Gives loads of interesting background to the project. We learned that King had the idea for this in late 1996 and actually started working on it in December of that year, and that he was torn for a long time between making it a screenplay or developing it into a novel, which of course resulted in that novel for TV that I've already mentioned. So before ploughing through the book, I'd never really read a screenplay before. But in King's hands, it was a lovely experience, mainly because he just can't help himself with all those details. It kind of feels like a novel, even though it isn't. And looking at those details that King put in, I can imagine that a lot of them made the actors' jobs way easier, and some of them were just never quite going to be captured on screen. So that's another reason to read the book as well, because you just get these extra little spices on top. It's really good. Now, unlike a lot of King's other quirkier projects, the book for Storm of the Century is still in print, still really easy to get hold of. So what are you waiting for? Do it, add it to your shelf. As for the show itself, well, that's a slightly different story. It's not really on any streamers, and the DVDs are pretty expensive. But King himself tweeted out a link to the whole thing on YouTube, which I will try and put here or there or somewhere. But basically, you can watch it for free, and the man himself reckons that's okay. Did I mention that King also refers to Storm of the Century as his favourite TV adaptation of his work, or TV project related to his work? That's reason alone to check it out, surely. Okay, onto the hook of this one. The story is told on Little Tall Island, where a big storm comes in, so big that it cuts them off from the rest of the world. At the same time, a mysterious stranger called Andre Linoge turns up, holding a cane with a wolf's head and a shed load of secrets up in his own brain. He brutally murders an elderly resident of the island and then is willingly arrested. On his way to jail, he starts spilling that he knows everyone's secrets, and it sets up this weird scenario of what exactly is this guy? What does he want? Why is he here? And he starts influencing the islanders to do bad things, including suicide, and starts his refrain of "give me what I want and I'll go away." And over the rest of the story, we try and work out what exactly it is he wants, and will he actually go away? So I'm going to say this right now, Linoge is one of King's best ever villains. He is cold, dead eyes like a shark. He appears to have no motive and yet can fuck things up for everyone. He's terrifying on screen and on page. He is really something. Now, if you were paying attention when I went through the hook quickly, your ears will have pricked up at the name Little Tall Island. Why? Because that's the setting for Dolores Claiborne, friends. All things serve the beam. Talking of paying attention, when you do watch this, keep your peepers peeled for a little cameo from King himself. And maybe let me know in the comments below when you see him pop up. Okay, time to enter spoiler territory, so if you need to dip out at this point, do so with my blessing and come back soon. Take care. Okay, let's start with the ending for this. Quite possibly the darkest, bleakest, most downer ending of King's entire career. It's really ballsy to do on page, but on television, on network television no less, it's quite something. Basically, what Linoge wants is a child to become his protege, to take over his work. And he says if he doesn't leave the island with a child, then he's going to kill all of the children who are there and turn the island into something like Roanoke, an island in the 1500s where everyone just mysteriously vanished. And the crux of it is, he gets to leave with a child. No happy ending here. Just an absolute shitstorm of grief. Some of the violence in this is pretty shocking as well. Take the first murder, for example. The little bits you do see on screen are scary enough, but what's hinted at from off-screen from the characters just gets across the brutality of what Linoge can do. And again, for network television, it's really quite staggering. Let's not forget also the guy who kills himself by slicing his own face in half with an axe. So something I really like and think is really cool about this, and Linoge in particular, is just the fact that he knows everyone's dark and dirty secrets and he can just spill them and cause havoc. It's a very simple idea, but really effective and really well done. Another highlight for me is the section where Linoge is able to influence and infiltrate everybody's dreams, a bit like what happens in The Stand, and he shows the islanders what the future of their home might look like if he doesn't get what he wants. A completely deserted island where nobody knows what happened to everybody. It's creepy and really well done. I think part of what makes the ending so bleak is that we do get a bit of an epilogue and we see how the islanders fare after the storm of the century and how they all just try and convince themselves and each other that the child who goes missing was just lost in the storm and the whole Linoge thing just didn't happen. It fucks with everybody's head and they're all fucking miserable, as you will be by the time you finish this. Oh, and in the aftermath, more suicides. Told you it was fucking bleak. And finally, the killer for me on this is that Mike, our lead character, our sort of hero, it's his son who gets taken. And at the end of the story, 9 years later, when he's relocated to San Francisco, he sees Linoge and his stolen son in the street before they vanish. It's just another kick in the gut right at the end. No happy ending here. So there we go, 19 reasons to read and watch Storm of the Century. Let me know what you think in the comments, particularly what you think about the ending to this screenplay and series. If you enjoyed this video, there's plenty more on my channel. Do have a click around. We've got 19 reasons for all of the books up to and including this one, and a few specials as well. And if you do like what's on here, maybe subscribe so you don't miss any in the future. And if you want to come and say hi on Instagram, I'm at Dave Musson. Always happy to chat King with you. Do come back soon, because next time we will be heading into the woods for that lost little baseball fan and her favourite player. But until then, take care, wrap up warm, and I'll see you soon.